Yo, like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you'll be notified every time I upload. One more sub to get to 2,800, but hey, I want to get to 3K soon. All right, so help me out with that. Okay, help me out with that. Either way I go. Hey, if you're new to this channel, I got a membership, $2.99 a month. To help keep the lights on. If you support what I do here. If you're new to the channel, like I said, we talk underdog. We talk um PrizePicks. We talk FanDuel, DraftKings, same game parlays. We have a nice community going here, and it's all about free help, man. Each one teach one, whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's talk about these games. Let's talk about scenarios. A quick drive by. Let me give you guys. Let me put up a screen for you guys here. Ooh, let me put up a screen for you guys here. Right. Oops, I stopped it. Share there. Okay. So bam, there we go. All right. And this is a quick rundown. Because I know it's going to be people up altering and needs a little vision, right? So let me provide this vision for you guys. All right, Utah Jazz, Detroit Pistons, right? So injury news for the Utah Jazz is this, right? Keontae George. This is a back-to-back, so watch out for Kessler. Watch out for it's a back-to-back, so watch out for marketing, right? And then Keontae George, keep an eye on his status. You're at 7. Keep an eye out on his status. If marketing doesn't go, then we'll probably get John Collins in the starting lineup. And then I would like Collins, if marketing doesn't go, I would like Collins Sexton's usage a little bit more. What else? What else? The center position, Kessler, right? So Detroit, let's talk about some positions, right? Some positions I like, right? So Detroit. So Detroit giving up the second most fantasy score to the center position. They're giving up the second most blocks, the most blocks to the center position, and they're giving up the second most steals to the center position, right? That's none other than Walker Kessler if he starts. So Walker Kessler is the guy that's going to go out there and get 3, 4, 5 blocks, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So his fantasy score, double points and rebounds, stuff like that is going to be in play for me, right? Let's talk about Cade Cunningham. These two guys are on the books, right? So Cade Cunningham, assist prop. Utah's giving up the most assists to the point guard position. And then just off pure volume alone, Cade Cunningham points are going to be in play, right? Small forward position, points wise, Utah Jazz giving up the fifth amount points to the small forward position, and the third most threes to the small forward position. That's none other than Bojan Bogdanovic, right? So those two guys that are out on the books right now, two of the highest usage players on this team. So it is what it is, right? Threes, you can get Bojan Bogdanovic threes right now at 2.5 and minus 180. It's a parlay piece right now. He's been in fuego from beyond the arc lately. Well, he's been okay. He's been good. The usage is going to be there. Everything, whatever the case may be. If you don't know what this tool is, it's Outlier, and they sponsor my channel. If you want to take a stab at it, you can go on YouTube and take a look at click the link in my bio, get you a free sign up with my code and get you a free free week. All right, and you might want to take a stab at it, right? So versus small forward over here, like I said, 27. These guys are ranked number 27. They defended it. He's hit this number 2.5 threes and 6 of his last 10 games. I don't know about head to head. Head to head, he's hit this number once out of 4 times versus this team. But as you can see, last 10 games, he's been, pretty good, right? 5 threes are better than 2 of his last 4 games, but you get the drift, right? So Cade Cunningham threes are in play as well. Just gave you guys a bunch of scenarios in that regards, right? So New Orleans Pelicans at Cleveland Cavaliers, right? So we need injury news here. I sprinkled something on New Orleans last night. They were plus money. I don't know how they were plus money, but I got them at plus money. Now, injury news. This locker room for the New Orleans Pelicans did get hit with a non-COVID illness bug going around, right? So CJ McCollum is healthy, but guys like Herb Jones and Jonas Valanciunas, those guys came up on the injury report, right? So at the end of the day, keep an eye on that situation. Donovan Mitchell, he missed last game. Don't know his status right now, but so that's some injury concerns right there, right? I can't. I'm gonna go out on. Hey, I don't even think it's going out on limb. It's gonna be New Orleans Pelicans or nothing for me in this spot, right? One guy who's been acting up in the absence of the last two games, he's been acting up as in playing good ball. What's his name? Sam Merrill. You can look at him for threes, whatever case may be. He's been hitting the three ball lately. Let's see. He's got, I think I want to say 5 threes in back-to-back games. 5 threes. He hit 8 threes versus Utah, 5 threes versus Houston, right? He's hit multiple threes in five straight games. So there's somebody that you can look at as a source for threes. And like I say, if Mitchell is out, then you can look at Karis LeVert. Shout out to Karis LeVert for getting there for me in the fourth quarter. He went on ahead and finished the deal for me in the points category. And then you can look at Struss. All right. The volume should be there for him. Okay. So Donovan Mitchell is a big part of the news going on right now. So, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be New Orleans Pelicans or nothing for me in this spot. Right. I've already sprinkled on them last night. Y'all better go out and win this game. Okay. Speaking of, and last but not least, Joe Val's definitely a double candidate. It is what it is. Points and rebounds, you can look at that as well. But CJ McCollum, I've been playing this 3-point prop like 3 games in a row. He's got 3 threes or better in 5 games straight. You can look at his points and assists if you want. That's another alternate prop. His points, his threes, or points and assists, or assists. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is there. All right. Next game on the docket here, spots that I like here. San Antonio Spurs, Chicago Bulls. Pace-up matchup for the Chicago Bulls. Bulls are, let's see, pace. San Antonio Spurs, third in pace, right? The Bulls, last in pace, which equals a pace-up matchup for the Chicago Bulls. Self-explanatory, all right? 3-ball. The 3-ball should be in play. Everything is in play here. Rebounds, both teams, Wembanyama and Vucevic. Definitely like the 3-ball for somebody like Kobe White. San Antonio Spurs giving up the 3rd most threes to the point guard position. They're giving up points, the 2nd most threes to the point guard position. That's got Kobe White name written all over it. His points is opened up at 22.5. You can take his points and you can take his threes. You can also take his PRAs in a pace-up matchup like this, or points and assists, right? But this San Antonio team is not one of the best defending teams here in the league there. So Chicago Bulls, they're giving up the most threes to shooting guard position. You can look at ball handlers that shoot threes versus Chicago Bulls for sure. Speaking of Chicago Bulls, they've been playing some really good ball. What else would you want to look at here? Let me see, 3-pointers, points-wise. Small forward. Probably wouldn't look at the small forward here, but Keldon Johnson will probably be running the 4 here. So it is what it is. But speaking of the centers here, Wembanyama's in a pretty good spot here. All right. Fancy points. San Antonio Spurs, they're giving up the 3rd most fancy points to centers. The 3-ball, you can look at Wemby. Bulls giving up the 2nd most threes to the center position there. And San Antonio Spurs giving up the 3rd most rebounds to the center position. You can go out and get your rebounds versus Vucevic. So at the end of the day, you can look at Wembanyama's, his points, his rebounds, points and rebounds, maybe points, rebounds, assists, and his fantasy score, right? A lot to like about this game. Anytime you get a pace-up matchup, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? All good. Anytime you get a pace-up matchup for any team. Los Angeles Clippers, Oklahoma City Thunder. We don't have lines out for this one here, but it's keep an eye on the injury news. Back-to-backs here. I'll tell you one thing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I love the spot for him. I don't see Terrence Mann, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, none of these guys being able to guard him. On the flip side, this is a back-to-back, right? So don't know if Paul George is going to go or not. I like the assist. I like the assist scenario here for James Harden. OKC, pace-up matchup, somebody who's going to pass right outside top 10, giving up assist there. Threes, OKC is giving up the 4 most threes to the to the point guard position. And we could look at the rebound props for the power forward and center. OKC is giving up the 4th most rebounds to the power forward spot and the second most rebounds to the center position, right? But sometimes, Zubac can get ran off the floor sometimes, like last night, because they had him for the double-double, and he just couldn't get back in the game, So keep an eye out on the injury news. And Kawhi Leonard just continues to smash, right? So there you have that. Okay. Indiana Pacers, Memphis Grizzlies, pace-up matchup for the Memphis Grizzlies, right? I love pace. Pace is really, really important. Memphis Grizzlies, they are 17th in pace. So right outside, the middle of the pack. And then Indiana Pacers, number 2 as of right now. They're fighting with number 1 for the Washington with the Washington Wizards in pace, right? So listen, wonderful spot for everybody on the team. Wonderful. This should be a good same game parlay atmosphere for the highest usage players, right? So to keep this short, I'll look at it like this: the 2-guard position, right? Indiana giving up the 3rd most points to the 2-guard position. Small forward, they're giving up the 4th most points to the small forward position, the most points to the power forward position, and the 4th most points to the point guard position. They top 5, to the center position. They top 5 giving up points to the shooting guard all the way up to the center. And point guard is self-explanatory. You're going to have Ja Morant, right? Like, they're not going to shut Ja Morant down. Now, pace-up matchup. Now I'm just giving it to you. Now, interesting prop I was looking at was the assist prop, sitting at 9.5 for Ja Morant, right? And rightfully so, because while the numbers might not reflect Indiana Pacers giving up a lot of assists to point guards, but it's just, you got some people out there that's just really, really good, and you have to make exceptions for it. So you might have to make an exception for Ja Morant, depending on how he wants to play. All Ja Morant numbers are in play here in this matchup. Do not get it twisted, okay? I did look at a triple-double for Ja Morant. It was at plus 750 or something like that. I don't know. I might not go there, but he should be looking to be making a statement as getting back into the thick of things. But and for the Indiana Pacers side, I rarely bet on a lot of their props. It's just hard to tell who's going to do what. Ben Mathurin, Buddy Hield. Hopefully he's on his good foot because he had a good game yesterday. He definitely needed it. So everybody's self-explanatory here, right? Great same game parlay atmosphere here. Okay. Orlando Magic and Milwaukee Bucks don't have too many lines out for this game. Last time these two teams played, Damian Lillard didn't play. Damian Lillard has been on one as of late. I don't like the Milwaukee Bucks guards for sure, whether it's Suggs, Cole Anthony, or Wagner. So I'm definitely going to like Wagner in this spot. Haven't really looked at the lines, though. I'll take another look later on when the lines really, really get out there. Los Angeles Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, right? This is a back-to-back for Minnesota, right? Karl-Anthony Towns points prop opened up at 21.5. I took a stab at it. Shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns. He got there for me last game. If I'm looking at this game, it's going to be Minnesota. If I'm looking to bet this game, it's going to be Minnesota or nothing for me. Money line parlays, the run line straights, if you want to get there. And like I said, I like this spot for Karl-Anthony Towns, man. Anthony Davis might be taxed with he might have somebody like Rudy Gobert on him. And, it is what it is. Like I said, this is a back-to-back. Everybody's in play here, man. Everybody's in play. I'm looking at Minnesota nothing in this spot. Minnesota needs a bounce back game after seeing Joel Embiid last night, but it is what it is, right? So I like the points. I would say points and rebounds for Cat. If you want to get the points and rebounds, be my guest. But I like the points though. I like the points. I just don't see. I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how this game works out. Because he might see some Jared Vanderbilt. They might end up sliding LeBron down to the 3. So it's going to be an interesting spot. It's going to be an interesting game here. Definitely going to be an interesting game. I'll lean towards the over points for Karl-Anthony Towns. It's going to be a lean there, right? As far as me getting it out. But I think I did take the 21.5 though. But I didn't play a lot on it. Okay, last game on the docket, Washington Wizards, right? And another case of just same thing with the Indiana Pacers, right? Same thing with the San Antonio Spurs. And I would target, if I had my way, I would target those 3 matchups today and just eat, right? The San Antonio Spurs matchup, the Washington Wizards matchup, and the Indiana Pacers matchup. That's all you need. At least, and if you're just looking to find like a plus 100, you can just look at those guys. So the Washington Wizards and Portland Trailblazers here, and I'll just go down the line, right? This is a pace-up matchup for the Portland Trailblazers, right? So you got Washington Wizards, number 1 in pace, fastest, right? Then you go down to the Portland Trailblazers, they 23 in pace. So it's a pace-up matchup for them. That's one thing. Now I'm looking at the highest usage players, right? The highest usage players, we're going to start with the point guard position, right? And that's Anthony Simons. What does he like to do? He likes to shoot the threes. Well, Washington Wizards giving up the 8th most threes to the point guard position. And you can look at the assists for him as well. Washington Wizards giving up the 2nd most assists to the point guard position. And then you can look at the points as well, where Washington Wizards are giving up the 6th most points to the point guard position. There you have it. That's none other than Anthony Simons, right? Next guy I want to look at here, the power forward spot. We're looking at Jeremy Grant, right? So Jeremy Grant, they're giving up the 5th most points to the power forward position. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm looking at is Jeremy Grant for his points. I don't want his rebounds. I don't want shit else for him. And last but not least, we're looking at the center position, right? Washington Wizards, they give up the most points to the center position. They give up the most rebounds to the center position. Fantasy points, they give up the most fantasy points to the center position. So that's none other than Aiden's props, points, rebounds, points plus rebounds, fantasy score, all that, right? All that's in play. Honorable mention here, of course, Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about these guys here on the Portland side of things, right? But I will mention Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford has 2 blocks or better. And I want to say 12 of his last 13 games. He can go out there and get you a few rebounds. He can go out there and get you some points. So his fantasy score is in play, right? So that's one thing that I want to point out right there. The assist rate for Tyus Jones has went up. That's one thing you need to take a look at too. And Kyle Kuzma has been shooting a little bit more threes as of late. That just about sums it up, guys. Take what you like, leave what you don't. At the end of the day, peace out. The live stream will be live today at 3 p.m. We're going to get it in. All right? Peace.